tell you why black men are out here and the rates are through the roof. They tear us down when we don't communicate and express our thoughts and feelings and sentiments or our vulnerabilities. And then as soon as we talk and express our thoughts and vulnerabilities, we get our ass beat and get torn down for that too. Well, I'm not finna let myself drive me crazy from keeping all this bouncing around in my head. So as long as these interviews are scheduled, motherfucker, I'ma show up and talk.
Men are walking around with full-blown smiles and they're dying inside. Welcome back to Young, Black, and Wealthy. Listen, family, to the men, and I'm not just making this video for men, I'm making this video for men and women because a lot of people don't understand. The people that's around men don't understand what they go through. But don't hold it in, brother, family. Go find help. There's too many of us dying because we holding it in. And why do we hold it in? Because we're embarrassed, because we don't want to show weakness, because maybe we had some financial issue, or maybe we don't want the people around us to know that we're hurting. And because we always got to be strong, we always got to be the one that people can lean on. But the strong need help too. So usually, unfortunately, what we do in these times, because we don't express ourselves, because we don't express the hurt, the pain, because we feel like we have no one to turn to, we turn to drugs, alcohol, a crazy partying lifestyle. Sometimes we even overwork ourselves just to distract ourselves from what's going on inside because we're hurt, because we're confused, because we feel like we don't have anybody to turn to in those tough moments. But we have to find that person that we can confide in, that we trust. We have to sit down and maybe do therapy. And, in our community, sadly, therapy is one of those things that is like it's taboo. Like black people feel like they don't need therapy, but we do. I mean, because we go through so many traumatic experiences in life and we never get the help that we need. And we continue to live with those things, and those things express and manifest throughout our life. But we have to make sure that we're doing what we need to do for ourselves as men, because if we can't get the help that we need, then we can't help anybody else. Too many of us are losing our lives each and every day, suffering in silence, sitting in a house alone. And whatever it is that we're going through is eating us up. Many times we don't go to the woman that we love because they throw things back in our face in our moments of weakness, or when an argument comes up. Sometimes we feel like we can't even go to our mothers because they raised us to be strong men. And, you know, I know I've been in instances where I felt like I couldn't tell my mom certain things that I was hurt about because I felt like she would look at me, even though she probably wouldn't have. But, you feel like that because she raised you. Hey, look, this is how you handle this is how you handle that. And and because you might have made the mistake, you don't want to return to her to be advised by her because you made a mistake. But we have to seek help. We're losing men because they are holding things in, and the stress is building, and the depression continues day to day to where they feel hopeless. And many of them are either committing suicide, or they are basically partaking in what we would consider to be a slow death. overconsumption of alcohol. I mean, drinking every day, smoking, some of us doing hard drugs, cocaine and heroin, because people can't deal with the stress of what they might have been going through. Sometimes losing their families, losing a job, or anything, whatever it is, but we need to seek out the help. And one of my mentors told me, I'll never forget it. It was something extremely real to me. Um, because I used to have moments where I'd be going through things, and he was the only person that I could talk to. And he told me, he said, we don't always have to necessarily go to the women that we love in our life. He said, really, the best thing to do is find you an older man, your uncle, your granddad, your father, a friend, and you fellowship with other men because they understand. They'll see things and understand things from your point of view because they're men. So definitely, man, fellowship with other brothers. But whatever you do, don't sit around and let whatever you're going through take you out of this earth, because you got people that love you. You got people that need you. You got your children, and your life is worth it. And also faith too, as well. That's something we need to speak on. A lot of the times when we going through things, we be so disconnected from the source of power, the greatest source of power, which is God. And we get so consumed in everything else that ends up causing secondary problems, which we're going to talk about that in a second, that we don't reconnect with our creator, who always is calling us to lean upon him for the things that we require in this life. When we going through things, lay our burden on him. We supposed to be able to confide in him. So reconnect. Whether you go to a church, you got a church home, whatever, but reconnect with the source. Because drugs, alcohol, smoking, it has secondary effects. It has effects that it might not take you out of this world right away, but eventually it does. So many of our men have DUIs from overconsumption of alcohol, being out in the world because they hurt. And this is how they get through each day. We got men dying of cancer and all type of other health related issues from overconsumption of alcohol, drugs, poor diet, no sleep. All of these things are taking us out. And most of the time, the reason is because of depression, stress, worry, and no way to get it out. You have to release it. Therapeutic release is what we need. That's what helps us get through. It's okay to talk about it. And as men too, we need to go and check up on our friends. My life could be great right now. I'm everything is good for me. And my friend, every time he gets around me, he smiling and happy and laughing. And he dying inside. Just think about the guy. I can't recall his name, but he was on the Ellen DeGeneres show. Now this man is married with children, beautiful wife. And you always see this man laughing and dancing and being playful and enjoying life. And they show where he recorded a video like 24 hours later, and then 24 hours after that, he was gone. He was gone, and nobody knew. Well, I don't know about his close immediate family, whether they knew, but nobody on the outside of his immediate family knew that he was going through things. And obviously the people that he was close with, or that he thought he was close with, didn't know he was suffering either. So we got to check up on our people. Like me and one of my homeboys, shout out my homeboy, Jonathan, my brother, I love you. He always reach out, mental health check. Same with me. We reach back out. We always check on each other. You know what I'm saying? Because I want my people to know that I'm here for you. I don't give a damn what it is that you're going through. I need to know about it. And he always make a good point. I can't help you unless I know what's going on with you. You know, I need to know. Talk to me. It's probably something 9 times out of 10 that I done been through myself. And then I can tell you how to get through it. Or I can lead you to somebody who can. Or just you just releasing and expressing yourself may be able to get you through the next day, the next moment. Because I've been in dark places myself. And I always say God sends angels because he would send me different people randomly. And they would say just the right thing to get me through to the next day. And I'm so thankful for that. But men, come on, brothers, open up. What Tyree said in this video was real. You know, he doesn't necessarily go to, he probably does. Maybe he does go to his friends and things like that around him. But he was like, man, I'm getting it out on interviews. I'm not finna hold it in and let it drive me crazy and let it take me out of this earth and have me leaving my children. I'm gonna release it. Stress is a killer. It's probably the number one killer. It is. It's probably the number one killer because stress causes disease and mental illness. So we have to release. And I'm going to say it again. As men, we have to release. To our women, please remember it's difficult for us as men to express ourselves. It's difficult. So, well, I'm going to say this. The reason why it is a lot of the times is because we've had an experience to where we have expressed ourselves to someone in the past, and then that information was either told to somebody, that information was brought back up in the midst of an argument or in the midst of a vulnerable or weak period in our life, a weak moment. And it's like it makes you never want to open your mouth and tell people what you're going through again. So you have to be the type of person um that your man can come to and tell you things in confidence and then not be used against him later on down the line because he needs your help. You are his consoler. Your nurturing spirit is what he needs to get him through. And tell him, ask him, what you going through? How you feeling? I'm just checking on you mentally. I just want to know how you feeling. Are you worried about anything? Like how many times do we come in the house and ask the person there we're with, our mate, how are you feeling mentally? Is it, I just want to do a mental health check. Is there anything that you're going through? And asking ourselves, am I the type of person that my mate can express to and feel like they're not being judged? All of these things are important. Family, brothers, your life matters. And it's people that care about you. It's people, little people, your children, they need you. They need you. And you don't want them to be 4 and 5 and 6. And you've taken yourself out of this world because you couldn't deal with what you were going through and you didn't get the help you needed. And then because of that, the whole trajectory of that child's life is forever changed because you're gone and you can't protect them anymore because you're not here. So when you sitting there and you consuming alcohol and drugs or whatever you're doing, smoking weed, and you overindulging, think about your children. Think about your wives. Think about the people that you might end up leaving behind that have to bury you. The hurt, the pain. Because even though in those moments you might not feel like your life matters, but it damn sure matters to the people that love you. So y'all have a great one. Check on your people. Don't forget to get a family a hug from me. I love you. I hope this video helped. I am here. Reach out, inbox me on all our social media platforms. I will talk to you. I will give you my number because you matter. You matter to me, and you matter to a hell of a lot of people. A lot of the times, sadly, we don't know the impact that we've had on people's lives until we leave this earth. Sadly. So tell your people you love them. Tell them how they affect you. Tell them how you made their life better, or they made your life better. All of those things matter. So y'all have a great one. God bless. See y'all soon.